on today. We're gonna go finally start working on the trailer. I will let you guys know if there is anything needed with the equalizers. Obviously, you guys will see all that. So, all the bushings are in. I ordered 12 of those bushings thinking that they work for the equalizer centers, but then looking at the bolt, realizing that they won't. So it'll be nice to have 6 spares. They were actually pretty pricey. They're like 13 bucks a bushing. And I ordered 12 of them, so yeah. But then I also ordered 6 bolts because I knew that one way or the other it was gonna work with something, and they work with the eyelet of the springs. So the springs themselves are fine, and hopefully we can just press those bushings out. According to Lippert, that's what we are able to do. So we'll be able to verify that as soon as we get there. So it is raining. It is 34 degrees. We were supposed to get freezing rain today and ice and stuff, so we kept the kids home from school. All right, well, let's see how long this thing lasts. So I know those bolts aren't gonna work for this one. Hopefully these bolts are all good, and then I can just order equalizers and whatnot for them, but I'm gonna get this thing jacked up. People were mentioning about the torsion axles. I really wanted to do them, but apparently they are not cost effective, and I really would have had to beef up the area in which they were gonna be, so whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna run with these, get everything rebuilt. I'll get the new equalizers on order sometime this week, and then so we'll replace them as well. We're gonna set the bearings and start doing some research on a shock absorber kit for everything. Centromatic spacers. We have all, I'm gonna order 8 wheel covers just because they come in packs of I think it was 4. So I have to get 8, and then we'll figure out what we want to do with the spare tires and whatnot somewhere. Either with this trailer, I might mount them on the neck like I didn't want to do originally. I don't know yet. We'll have to go check a couple of things, or we could mount them on the bottom. Either mount it on the top of this rail here, or mount them on the bottom of one of the other rails. But this one looks to be the beefiest, so we might just put them on the top of that rail and keep the weight mostly on, it'll put it like right in front of the axle. So let's get the jack out, which might not even need the jack, to tell you the truth, other than to keep the axles up. So I'm gonna get these 2 wheels and tires off first, and then we'll deal with this one last. But really do want to check out these equalizers and see how they are. So what you guys can see here, everybody seems to weld these, so I'm gonna get that pulled out. This one seems fine. Obviously I'm gonna replace it, but this one seems fine. I just need to get that nut on the back side there. I'm gonna get a jack, put under this axle. Like I said, we're gonna do one at a time. So we'll do this joint, then we'll move to this one, which will require me, I won't take this wheel off right away. I wanna get this equalizer off and just see what it's like. So we'll go from there. But yeah, let me get this. We'll also do the bearings one at a time. I want to get everything pushed back in and then loosen back up, so we'll also do that at the same time. I want everything to be 100% minus the equalizers today, get them later. Same with wiring. I want everything redone as well. So we know the wiring coming from the back is good, so I just want to get all new wires for each corner now that we know it works. So, can't believe everything you read in the comments. I was told that you have to replace the entire spring, not just the bushing. Proven incorrect. Here is the garbage nylon bushing. This one had no play in it, but look at that. And then here is the nice new brass bushing. Here is the old piece of crap bolt. I don't know why this didn't come with nuts, but here is the new. Hopefully that goes the whole way through. Let's see, does it? Wow, it doesn't. So I don't know what the deal with these are. Those are not the correct ones, but this does fit in there. So I'll figure this out in a minute, because I definitely want to be able to grease these, so I'm gonna call Lippert and figure out what's going on with that. But yeah, you get the point. Don't believe everything you read. Oh man, appreciate people for trying to help out, but sometimes not all advice you get is good advice. All right, so what I'm noticing is that these bolts will actually work. The only thing is, one, I have to go get nuts for them, and two, it's gonna squeeze the equalizer, this little bracket here. There is slop between the two, so this will actually pull it pretty tight. So we'll actually be able to use it, and then we'll be able to grease everything. So everything on this trailer should be greasable. I'm kind of curious as to what it's gonna look like inside here, but for now this one's at least good. I'm just trying, you guys can see that right there, there's a little bit of a gap, so that'll pull that tight, and we need to bring the other side down. So this is definitely a little bit of a fight, and we'll learn from the first one. And then the second one's gonna be weird too, because I don't know anything about the equalizer. Never taken this apart. Hopefully the equalizers are fine, which I doubt they are, just because of the wiggle. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that on the inside here, whatever bushing is in there is probably shot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say we're gonna need new equalizers. I think on Amazon these were like 180 bucks anyway, whereas Lippert sells these for 400. And Amazon ones, they come with these grease bolts anyway. So I really don't know if it's gonna matter. So this bearing seems fine. I'm gonna mess with this too while we're out here, but just little things here and there, we'll get it. All right, that was such a pain to get in there, that new bolt. So I need to go and get nuts for the backside. That'll squeeze that all in, because there's a lot of like play between them. So we'll squeeze that in. I need to get another fitting. Accidentally broke one, so I'll go grab that as well. Probably just go to Home Depot and grab all that. Then we should be good. So this axle will be done. Then I'll do the bearing real quick, get that set and redone. We should be all right. All right, here's the axle number 2. So this is gonna be the start of, let's start messing with these equalizers. So this one, obviously welded. I'm not gonna do that on mine. They make a nut. The cast is kind of oblong. That's a one-time use for these things. So we'll be doing that, but this, yeah, this is the one that's bad. So this wheel will be on the ground in a second once we let off all the pressure. Or it may not be, I don't know. But since both of my jacks broke, using ratchet straps to pull the axle up, and then using a smaller ratchet strap to pull it left or right depending on which way I need it to go. So that's what we're dealing with today. So let's I know I was always having issues greasing this one here, so that's going to be an issue that we're going to try to resolve with the new equalizers as well. So let's get all this stuff off. I'm going to grind that weld and pull the nuts off.
They love it when I turn up the bass.
Here's what was left of that bushing.
They love it when I turn up the bass.
Alright, so I have found the problem, I think. The equalizer itself looks fine. Obviously, you know, there's a little bit of wear in here, so yes, we'll get a new one. But I see this bolt, and you can see that it's a little bit wallowed. We're fine on the hole. The hole itself, like when you put this in, yeah, it looks bad. I think that was me. But when you put it in, it's solid and everything. So the hole itself, so the brackets are fine. It's just the bolt, little bit of wear on that, being that on the inside here where, you know, there's a little crack there. So we'll get the new equalizers on order. Figure that's what it would have been, but on the bright side, we got our new bronze bushings and these wet bolts here. When I ordered those wet bolts, I thought that it was these, but I guess the new equalizer kit comes with these. So I'm gonna go home, order this as soon as possible, and we'll go from there. But it looks like the center axle, like I'm probably just gonna, I don't know, should I start tearing the rest of this apart and just leave it sit until we get parts in? Like, this is the bearing that's bad. I already set that bearing, so we'll do this one next, which I guess I can just do it here while we're up in the air.
They love it when I turn up the bass.
All right, so for now, while we're waiting on parts, I'm gonna get everything flat back together, go get nuts, go get another insert for that, for the grease, and get the rest of this done. So at least I'll be able to run Monday, and then hopefully sometime, probably next Saturday, I'll be able to just replace every one of the equalizers. And possibly, depending on how much money comes in, we'll also grab the wiring as well. Okay, I'm gonna call it quits for the day, just because I'm gonna get everything thrown back together, call it quits for the day. If I come back tomorrow and finish this all up when I have all the parts. So anyway, I'm gonna worry about it. It seems like since I greased that up, there's a lot less slop. So I'll put the wheel back on and we'll see, and then go ahead and do the other one. It kind of sucks because that equalizer over there is brand new and it's already bad. So you guys can see just how bad. Don't get these plastic bushings. If you're gonna do it, I guess I'd like to tell you, do it right. Don't cheap out. Like, here's the factory bolt right here, you can see. Get the wet bolt, a lot better. Anybody telling you not to use wet bolts is crazy. Just do it. You think yourself. I also do need to get a hook for up there so that I can do my double line back with this winch, because I want it to stay centered rather than going off at an angle, so that'll make life a little bit easier. But I need to be rolling back on Monday. That way we can recoup some funds. I don't care who you are, $15,000 going out the door in one big shot is kind of a lot, because I spent money on the trailer, I spent money on bills, and then I also spent money on that huge payment. So now it's gonna start pouring. We're supposed to get some freezing rain here, so I'm gonna head home, go get some parts, and I'll see you. All right, we are back. It is another day. So I went and got the nuts that I needed. We couldn't find new greaser, so I kind of smashed one, but not a big deal. I'll swap it out then. We'll get that taken care of and get all these in hopefully today, because then Monday I can get rolling. Just waiting on that guy with the white truck. Like I said, just waiting on some money from him, and I'll be taking that also down to Delaware. It's like an 8-hour round trip. So not a big deal. I'll find something down that way coming back, but let's go see what the damages are. So it's like cold, but it's not at the same time. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. So I've been trying to fight getting grease into these things, and it's not been easy. For some reason I can't get grease to go into the bolts and everything, but we'll see. I'm thinking I don't know, I got everything tightened up, so I need to do this one here, the front one, and then I can move to this one here. We'll go from there and just see what's going on with it. All right, so since I don't have a jack, I've been fighting this thing. This specific one in general, I can get it to go through one side, but never get it to go the whole way through. Once it's through the other side, it won't center out. This bracket is like fall apart, or like fully apart. So I used a jack, or used a strap to hold the axle up. We got the leaf spring out, got the bolt out of that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use the original bolt to get this centered and pull this bracket together, and then we'll put these wet bolts in. I don't like that they made the end smaller, but I did go get washers and nuts for them. So I've already greased, that one's greased, that one's greased. So I don't know, doesn't seem like there's any slop in that one. I'm gonna move that around and verify. I'm still gonna order the parts obviously, but if I can get these things greased to take grease, and hopefully I can run them for, you know, a week or two, and then we'll get all new stuff. It just, obviously I don't want to have any more downtime. Next week I would like to get back out and working, so we'll go from there. This is previous owner wiring. I don't know what the deal is with that. That's for a house, so everything will get all said and done before I buy another trailer. But this thing's almost paid off. He's sending me the title early because it needs registration, so I'm just going to register it in PA and be done with it. Pay whatever I need to. It's a tax write-off anyway. So we're also going to get these little brackets on here in a little bit. I want that done today, and I want all these bearings done. I don't have any jacks under this thing. You guys can see the front jack and this back wheel are what's pretty much holding it up. These two were off the ground. That front one was off the ground. So I'll at least be able to do these back four, and I'll have to find a way to go. At least the problem areas will be done, and then I'll figure this one out. I might need to pull the trailer up or something, but once I get all this stuff done, then I'll be able to put the new bushings in the back ones. So there's a huge learning curve to this on your first time. So this one's done, that bushing's in, that bushing's in. We've got to do that bushing and wet bolt. I have found that the washer on the back side is too much, so got rid of the washer, and it's just pretty much a nut on the back side. Like I said, we'll do this last one, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the two on the other side first, because those are the easy ones. That way at least we have all the bushings that we need, and then we'll just have to do that bushing and that equalizer there. So figure we'll throw a ton of grease. Every one of these have a shitload of grease in them now. I'm not seeing any play. I put the pry bar in there and everything. I understand it's not nearly as much as if I put a load on it, so we'll get it up in the air. I'm gonna put this wheel back on and wiggle this axle and see if there's any play. Like I said, still gonna replace them. I just wanna see how much play there is. So right here is a bushing that it had no play in it at all whatsoever. This was the front axle up here. So if you're considering going from these to a bronze bushing and you're like, I don't know if it's worth it, I don't know if I can afford it, this, that, just do it. They're like 13 bucks a piece. And like I said, that axle had no play whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead, toss one of these guys into that front axle. And unfortunately what I've noticed is the front brackets seem to be really, really wide, and you really have to like squeeze them in. So like, whereas it seems like that wouldn't work, but it squeezes itself in, you can get another, like, you can squeeze these in a good 1/2 inch. So we'll get that bronze bushing. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Get rid of these. You want to grease the shit out of them, but I do that after I've already gotten them in there. So there's that, and then we'll just lightly someone's probably gonna complain you shouldn't do it that way. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm probably gonna end up dropping this axle. I'll probably pick this side of the axle up, drop the leaf spring and everything, so that at least I can make sure that this is in straight, because the other side, I fought with that side for like 2 hours trying, like, couldn't figure out why it wouldn't go, and then realized, oh. So it's 4 bolts, lift the axle up with a ratchet strap, drop the entire leaf spring, slide it in the way you need it, tighten it down, and then throw it back in here. So I'll also get this bolt out here, but I'm gonna drop this whole thing anyway. So grab that in a second. I'll show you what's going on. All right, so like I said, here's what I'm doing. Axle is completely suspended from the ratchet strap. So, like I said, the reason that I do this is because this is super far apart, and I need to be able to bring that into itself, but without putting any stress on the bolt, because I don't want to snap it, because they are kind of expensive. So what I'm pretty much going to do, after I get that back in there, is I'll set this up here myself, and then I'll put the bolt in while it's up there. See, make sure we have clearance across. We'll get that tight, and it'll put a lot less wear on that bolt. So if I were to just like have this suspended and try to use the bolt to do all the work, I feel like this would snap. But that's just me. I don't know. This is what Lippert has available. So there's your grease hole in the center. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so this one's about damn near perfect. So you guys can see, here's the issue we're having. The bolt itself looks great. It's a wet bolt. I don't know what happened to that. That grease fitting. Does that look normal to you guys? What? Oh, actually, you know what? I think, oh, I see, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, what the hell happened there? It looks like it's just a grease zerk screws into that. So, get this one out quick. This axle still suspended. Be able to pull this guy back up. But I'll do that once I get this bushing replaced. And that's a lot better up there. I'll get that, I gotta get that greased real quick as well. But it's all coming together. We're making some progress. My gloves are soaked from yesterday in the truck and they're frozen, so my hands are kind of cold. I've been trying to keep myself clean, but I don't think that's gonna happen. With it being wintertime, everything has been clean except my face and my hands. My legs, to get a shower at night, everything is clean except my hands and my face. So I think once I get all this thrown on, I'm gonna pull the trailer down the hill, which will then suspend the back. So the back wheels come off the ground when I hit the hill down here. So no jack required if you know your area and where to service things. But yeah, this I might use this as a thumbnail, because that's a good one right there. That's a good shot. So something else I was thinking of too, because obviously I want to move them, and I have 8 covers coming for the wheels. I gotta order them yet, but they'll be coming. So I'm like, I said about putting them on the top of this crossbar here. And I'm like, that would be a pain if there was cars on here. So I'm wondering why don't I just mount the tires like on the side, like here, because this is like really, really thick. That's the whole frame and everything. So why not take those, cut them off, and then weld them on the side? Kind of gives it that like quad axle look, but obviously like it's practical. They're there, you can actually see past them, because those you also can't see past them, so you want to put the mirrors out, and I don't do that. So it's like backing up. I do know what people say about, hey, that blocks your view a little bit. It absolutely does. Doesn't bother me as much, but I'm like, so those are the 2 places I'm thinking. Either put them like right here in front of the other 2 axles, or right there on that axle, but then there's cars in the way. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I might end up, I know I changed my mind on this a lot, but I might end up just putting them on the side here. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, let me get that, go get the bushings. For as expensive as these things were, I really only needed 6. I ordered 12 because I thought that they would have worked for the equalizers. Apparently they don't, which obviously I've never done it before, so I don't know. So $300 and like 70 some odd cents. But they're worth it. Definitely think they're worth it. I feel like it might be the wrong bolt, but they do work. I don't know. Someone will probably yell at me down in the comments, but it's fine. And then this one here I kind of stripped a little bit, so I'm gonna try to see if that's salvageable. So hopefully it's salvageable. Well, looks great, doesn't it? So there you go. Put the new one in real quick and be done with it, because these things last a good while from what I've heard as well. A lot longer than these do, and these have been in here for a while on at least every one of them. So I guess since there wasn't any play, I've had this trailer for probably 8 months, 7 months now, something like that. So get that tossed in there. Well, bang. Look at that. There you go. And put that bad boy in there. We'll be good to go. And here's that piece of metal. I'm assuming that's what we're talking about. That needs welded in all the time. So otherwise, this equalizer looks pretty good. So still gonna get replaced, but looks pretty good. All right, everything is done. New. There's actually no play on the other side. I was able to wiggle. It's in the same spot that it had a ton of play in. So made a huge difference. There didn't seem to be anything wrong inside this equalizer. So that bushing there and then that bushing there. So everything seems all right. I do need to go get a grease zerk. Apparently they used a bolt that had a bigger grease zerk than the rest of them. And it looks like from tire blowouts, we lost another grease zerk. So I'm just gonna get a bunch of them on order. The big ones, the small ones, they're probably cheap enough. I can just get a bunch of spares, because here's the original one. And it's kind of a little smashed. I may have hit it with a hammer, but I do need, I'm just gonna go get other ones. So the other side uses 2 small ones. They're like 8 mil. This one's 11 mil. And that one doesn't exist. So I will get these tires back on, use the ratchet strap to bring this axle up. This one is kind of low, but I'll see if I can't get these off. If not, I mean, the trailer is in good condition at this point. We would be able to run it like this, no problems. Still gonna wait on those, and we'll see on this. But I'm wondering if that equalizer's down like that because I'm wondering if it's because these 2 axles are kind of down and just floating. We'll see. But I'm gonna get everything thrown together and then pull down to the bottom of the hill and start working on the rest of it. So it took me some time to realize them being down like that. Now I realize, because those are fine, they have the thing welded into them. I'm just now realizing that, yeah, those are probably like that because the nub that spring's supposed to rest on is not there. So we do need to order equalizers anyway. So I'm probably at this point, because it's cold, I'm freezing, I'm just gonna throw everything back together and I'll go back to working on this tomorrow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense as to why they're facing down like that. Cool, okay. Learning things, not a trailer expert by any means. This is why I did power only before, because it's just, I like to go simplicity, and I didn't want to maintain things. Now that I have to maintain things, I have to learn things. And pretty good with the truck side, not so much with the trailer side. Still learning. These are so much simpler though. So it's little things. These are so much easier to learn is what I'm finding out. Getting the old whore fired up. That exhaust brake is nice on days like today because it just warms the truck up. Then I have heat when it's sitting in idle. One of these days I'll clean this heater core out. Until then, I'll enjoy my heat and idle. So this will probably bother a couple of people, but working on getting a 6-inch stack, single miter cut for this truck. And I'm considering going to the Chevy Ford style mirrors as well. I saw them on Amazon and I'm like, these Dodge mirrors suck. I've been seeing more and more trucks with them, and I kind of like the look of them and the practicality. So might make me an order on some of them, but for now, just gonna head home. I'll get all the parts ordered, get the new equalizers. Might try to source some equalizers out here locally, but we'll see. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know until I go back to work on Monday, I'm gonna be doing like every other day posting. I mean, it's gonna be an inconsistent schedule, so whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, go check out my affiliate links down below. I have a ton of stuff down there from Amazon that works really well. What I use, what you guys can use as well. I get a kickback from that. Also, Celsius.network, go sign up on there. Your first $400 deposit, hold that for a month. You get 50 bucks if you use my code, and an extra 50 bucks if you use code HODL50. And you get paid weekly interest. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. We both get 50 bucks out of it. You get 100 bucks out of it. And it's a safe and secure way to store your crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the other, any of those consistent cryptos. Go check it out. So appreciate you guys. See you in the next one. Later.